There's a joke that every British person knows and every foreign visitor learns within 48 hours of arriving. The joke is that if you do not like the weather in the United Kingdom, wait 5 minutes. It is not actually a joke. It is a meteorological observation dressed in humor because the alternative, explaining the full atmospheric physics of why the British Isles sit at the most volatile intersection on the entire planet, takes considerably longer than 5 minutes and requires an understanding of a river in the sky that most people have never heard of, an ocean that behaves unlike any other body of water on Earth, and a geographic position so precisely unfortunate from a climate stability perspective that if you designed it deliberately, you could not have placed a group of islands more squarely in the path of every conflicting air mass that the Northern Hemisphere produces. This is that explanation. And by the end of it, the next time the weather in Britain changes from warm sunshine to driving rain in the course of a single afternoon, which it will because it always does, you will understand exactly why it happened, what atmospheric mechanism produced it, and why there is essentially nothing that could change it short of moving the British Isles to a different latitude, which, unfortunately, is not currently possible. Let us begin with the jet stream. Because the jet stream is where this story starts, and without understanding the jet stream, nothing else about British weather makes complete sense. The jet stream, the river in the sky. Imagine a river, not a river on the ground, a river in the atmosphere, flowing from west to east, roughly 8 to 12 kilometers above the Earth's surface, at altitudes where passenger aircraft cruise. This river is not water, it is air. Specifically, it is a concentrated band of extremely fast-moving air, typically traveling at speeds between 100 and 300 kilometers per hour. Sometimes faster, that circles the entire northern hemisphere in a continuous flowing current. This is the jet stream. More precisely, for the United Kingdom's purposes, this is the polar front jet stream, the atmospheric boundary between the cold polar air mass that sits over the Arctic and the warm tropical air mass that originates over the subtropics and the Sahara. The jet stream exists because of temperature difference. Cold air is denser than warm air. Where cold polar air meets warm tropical air at altitude, the pressure gradient between them creates a concentrated band of high-speed wind that follows the boundary between the two air masses. The steeper the temperature contrast, the faster the jet stream flows. In winter, when the Arctic is coldest and the temperature difference between polar and tropical air is greatest, the jet stream is at its most powerful, sometimes exceeding 400 kilometers per hour. In summer, the contrast moderates and the jet stream slows, weakens, and shifts position. Here is the critical point for understanding British weather. The polar front jet stream does not travel in a straight line around the hemisphere. It meanders. It develops large wave-like patterns called Rossby waves, named after the Swedish meteorologist Carl Gustaf Rossby, who first described their mathematics in the 1930s, that create long north-south undulations in the jet stream's path. Sometimes the jet stream bows northward in a pattern called a ridge. Sometimes it plunges southward in a pattern called a trough. And the position of these ridges and troughs relative to the British Isles is, more than any other single factor, what determines what kind of weather the United Kingdom experiences at any given moment. When the jet stream is positioned north of the UK, when Britain sits in the warm, high pressure ridge that forms on the equatorial side of the jet, the country gets the warm, settled anticyclonic weather that produces the good summers that British people discuss for years afterward. The heat of July 2022, the warmth of the 1976 summer, the long settled periods that occur perhaps once or twice a decade, all of these are jet stream north events. When the jet stream is positioned directly across or south of the UK, when Britain sits in the storm track that the jet stream guides, the country gets the succession of Atlantic low-pressure systems, fronts, and rainfall events that defines the British climate in the minds of everyone who has ever visited. The United Kingdom sits, with almost mathematical precision, at the latitude where the jet stream most frequently crosses from the Atlantic onto the European landmass, approximately 51 to 58 degrees north. The jet stream's average position in the northern hemisphere mid-latitudes is around 50 to 60 degrees north. The British Isles are parked directly underneath the jet stream's preferred address. This is not bad luck. This is geography. But understanding it explains everything. Why the jet stream makes British weather change so fast. The speed of British weather change comes directly from what the jet stream does to weather systems. Low-pressure systems, the depressions and fronts that bring rain and wind, do not form randomly across the Atlantic. They form and intensify along the jet stream, drawn to its energy like ships finding a fast-moving current. Once formed, they travel with the jet stream, guided by its flow eastward toward Europe. The jet stream, moving at 100 to 300 kilometers per hour, carries these weather systems across the Atlantic at a pace that produces the specific British experience of weather arriving faster than forecast. changing more rapidly than anticipated, and behaving in ways that seem almost personalized in their unpredictability. A low-pressure system forming over the western Atlantic near Newfoundland can reach the British Isles in 48 to 72 hours when the jet stream is strong. The system that is a distant depression over the ocean on Monday morning can be delivering force 9 winds and horizontal rain to Cornwall by Wednesday afternoon. And then, because the low-pressure systems that travel the jet stream are followed by cold polar air wrapping around their western flank, Thursday might bring sharp, clear Arctic air with brilliant sunshine and temperatures 10 degrees below Wednesday's. This sequence, rain, wind, cold clarity, is the rhythm of the British weather cycle. It repeats approximately every 4 to 7 days when the jet stream is active, which across the British Isles in autumn, winter, and spring is most of the time. In summer, the dynamics shift. The jet stream weakens and migrates northward. The parade of Atlantic lows becomes less frequent. High pressure can establish itself over the UK or near continent and persist for days or weeks. This is when the UK gets its settled summer spells. But because the jet stream never fully retreats to a position so far north that the British Isles are completely beyond its reach, even summer weather in the UK carries the underlying instability that the jet stream's proximity creates. A subtle shift southward in the jet's position can break a settled summer spell within 24 hours, bringing fronts and rain to regions that were experiencing heat wave conditions the day before. The speed of that transition, from 32 degrees and cloudless to gray, 18 degrees and raining in the course of an afternoon, is the specific British weather experience that the jet stream produces. The Atlantic, the engine room. The jet stream is the mechanism. The Atlantic Ocean is the fuel supply. This warm water evaporates, creating moisture that feeds into the atmosphere above the ocean. That moisture is the raw material for every rain-bearing weather system that the jet stream then picks up and delivers to the British Isles. The temperature contrast between the warm Gulf Stream water in the central Atlantic and the cold polar water to the north and northwest creates the temperature gradient that maintains the jet stream's strength over the North Atlantic, which in turn ensures that weather systems forming over the ocean are particularly energetic, particularly deep, and particularly vigorous by the time they reach the British Isles. This is why Atlantic weather systems that hit the UK often feel more intense than their equivalents in other parts of the world at similar latitudes. The North Atlantic is, in atmospheric terms, an engine room, constantly converting the thermal energy of the Gulf Stream into atmospheric moisture and kinetic energy that the jet stream then shapes into the depressions and fronts that the British Isles receive at the front line of the European landmass. There is a woman named Margaret Thornton who lives on the north coast of Cornwall. She is 73 years old. She can look at the western horizon and tell you, with an accuracy that would make the Met Office uncomfortable, whether rain is coming in the next 6 hours. Not because she has studied atmospheric physics, because she has spent 7 decades watching how Atlantic weather announces itself on the Cornish horizon. The color of the cloud build to the west, the wind shift before a front arrives. Britain faces west. The Atlantic is immediately to the west. Every weather system that forms over that ocean arrives at the British Isles at full atmospheric strength, carrying the full moisture load that the North Atlantic evaporation has provided, driven by the full energy of the jet stream that guided it eastward. Britain absorbs the Atlantic's weather output directly, without geographic buffer, without mountain ranges to the west that strip moisture before systems reach the populated lowlands, without the continental distance that moderates weather for inland European nations. The conflict of air masses. Why Britain gets everything beyond the jet stream and the Atlantic, there is a third dimension to Britain's weather volatility that makes the complete picture even more remarkable. The British Isles sit at the convergence point of 5 distinct air masses, fundamentally different bodies of air, each with its own temperature, humidity, and origin point, that regularly compete for dominance over the country. Polar maritime air arrives from the northwest, originating over the Arctic Ocean and modified by its passage over the North Atlantic. It brings cold, showery conditions, the sharp, clear days with heavy showers that are a signature of British weather, particularly in spring and autumn. Tropical maritime air arrives from the southwest, originating over the subtropical Atlantic near the Azores, and warming and moistening as it travels north. It brings mild, wet, cloudy conditions, the gray, drizzly, mild weather that defines the western and southern coasts of Britain in autumn and winter, and the warm, humid conditions that precede summer thunderstorms. Tropical continental air arrives from the southeast and south, originating over the Sahara Desert and the European landmass. It brings hot, dry conditions in summer, the air mass responsible for the most extreme UK heat events, the heat waves that push temperatures above 30 and occasionally above 40 degrees Celsius. Polar continental air arrives from the east, originating over Siberia and northern Russia. In winter, it brings the specific bone-dry, bitterly cold conditions of the beast from the east events, clear skies, extreme cold, and the snowfall that occurs not from Atlantic moisture, but from the residual moisture the continental air picks up crossing the North Sea. Each of these 5 air masses is capable of reaching the British Isles. Each produces fundamentally different weather. And because the jet stream's position determines which air mass has the dominant influence at any given time, and because the jet stream moves and meanders continuously, the air mass over Britain can shift from one type to another within 24 to 48 hours. This is the complete answer to why British weather changes so fast. It is not simply that the country gets a lot of rain. Norway gets more rain, Ireland gets comparable rainfall. The specific quality of British weather volatility, the speed of its changes, the contrast between successive days, the ability to move from heat to cold to sunshine to fog within the course of a single week, is produced by the specific combination of jet stream position, Atlantic proximity, and air mass convergence that the British Isles' geographic location creates. No other comparable land area on Earth sits at the precise convergence of these factors in quite the same configuration. What the jet stream's behavior means for forecasting. One of the most significant developments in British forecasting over the past 2 decades is the improved capacity to predict the jet stream at extended time ranges. Modern supercomputer models, the Met Office and the European Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts and Reading, now produce reliable jet stream forecasts 7 to 10 days ahead, dramatically up from the 3 to 5 day practical limit of a generation ago. The confidence in a heat event like Wednesday's 32-degree London peak comes directly from multiple independent models agreeing on the jet stream's position and trajectory. The limitation that remains is the jet stream's mathematical sensitivity to small initial changes, the reason why a 10-day forecast is considerably less reliable than a 5-day forecast, and why 20-day forecasts for the British Isles are essentially probability estimates rather than genuine atmospheric prediction. The jet stream is a chaotic system. Small differences in its starting state produce large differences in its future behavior. Britain lives with that uncertainty every single day. The summary 5 words. 5 words explain why UK weather changes so fast. Jet stream, Atlantic Ocean, geography. The jet stream positions Britain at the front line of the hemisphere's most active weather corridor. The Atlantic delivers the moisture and energy that makes every weather system that crosses it powerful and rain-laden. And geography. The specific location of the British Isles at 51 to 58 degrees north, facing west directly into the Atlantic's output, ensures that every depression, every front, every air mass transition arrives at full atmospheric strength without moderation. The 5-minute joke is not really a joke. It is the observable result of a planet-scale atmospheric system operating for millions. That is the complete answer. The 5-minute version is funnier, but this one is true.